Hey guys, it's Liv here, and in today's video, we're going to be using a team built around Coalossal with Dragon Ball to try and get to Master Ball. I'm so desperate for Master Ball, I broke out the big guns. We're using Big Broken Coal, and if you want to try the team yourselves, the link to that is down below. If you enjoy and you want to see more VGC content on the channel, leave a like and subscribe, and with that said, let's get right into it. First mod of the team obviously is Cole, and with the weakness policy with the Terra Rock set, this team, by the way, I don't know all the EVs, but I know a good amount of them. The team rental is down below. I did not make the rental, but I'm going to post it. It will be up until the person takes it down. But this team basically is built around Steam Engine Coal is one of the cores. This is a 3-mode team essentially, for anyone who is curious how that works. Basically, this has 3 different cores. This is the Coal Pult lead, and then we have 2 other cores in the back, which I'll get into. But the Coal Pult lead is basically designed around leading with Coal Pult. We have weakness policy Coal, which will pop Terra Rock, and with the 228 speed, we should outpace every practical mon. At the very least at +2, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, the 79 speed ends up creeping for Lilligant. No, this hits 470. Is that really right? Nope, wait, 79 times 4, not times 6. Yeah, 316. So this should creep over Lilligant, which is great. Otherwise, we would tie it at 78. The 252 attack Adamant is just because of the fact that max attack Adamant may as well boost our damage, and with 28 HP, it's just left over. Rock Slide is our primary attack here, though Explosion is great to get into something else, and with +2, we'll be able to do a ton of damage, and Flare Blitz is great for steal, so that would otherwise resist. Up next, we have Pult, which is our main way to pop this. Typically, we're clicking Surf here when the max speed is just a way to do it as fast as possible. We want to minimize our damage output, which is why we don't boost the Surf damage and why we're running Jolly with the 0 IV and special attack actually here. With the 252 attack, it's just to boost Dragon Darts. We don't really need to be bulky here. And with Terra Dragon, it's just an offensive way to boost his damage even further. Though you could potentially switch this for Terra Blast and Terra Ghost, I guess, or even just go Terra Ghost with Dragon Darts in general, which has merits for getting around stuff like Annihilate Final Gambit, for example. But even still, I prefer Dragon Darts because it's a nice redirection option, and boosting that damage even further in some matchups is valuable. Willis is great for matchups like King Gambit that could potentially revenge you with priority, especially in Dragon Bolt's case, so I do appreciate that a lot. Up next, we have Dondozo, which Dondozo is mode 2 with Dondozo and Tatsugiri with the orange one, which boosts attack. Basically, this is designed with Terra Dragon to be a really strong way to boost order up damage, and it also resists both of Grass and Electric, which are great for Dondozo's base form. With Protect and Sub is great for getting around burns. Meanwhile, Protect is great for trying to farm through Leftovers recovery, which is valuable here. And we're Slow, which is mostly meant to try and take advantage of Trick Room. I'm not sure what the exact speed creep is for, but it hits 114. So it's probably for some sort of uninvested modified, I guess. I'm not really too sure what the numbers are for specifically though. But Unaware is nice in this just to get around potential setup options that would otherwise get around at +2, +2, +2, +2, +2. And that's really it. With Commander Tatsugiri, this is really just here to pop the Dondozo and get it to +2 all around. With the orange Tatsugiri, we're boosting attack when we click order up every time by 1 stage. And with the Choice Scarf outside of Dondozo strats, this is just to be as fast as possible. 82 speed, we're just max speed just to try and outpace other Pokemon, tie either Tatsugiri, for example, as well. And with Muddy Water, it's a great spread move, same as Icy Wind, with Draco Meteor and Hydro Pump being single target stab options. Final mode of this team revolves around Psy Spam, and first up we have Life Orb Armor Rouge. Now I know the max speed modest is probably just a tie other fast Armor Rouges, and it's probably just a nice option to get around other 75 mons, like for example maybe Modest Scoville and tie that, which would be a decent wall to that. But I'm not really sure what the specific instance of what specifically you're keeping with this is. It's still slow enough to be active in Trick Room, but it doesn't really need Trick Room either. But basically though, with Expanding Force, it's just a really good spread option. Energy Ball is great for stuff like Gastrodon, and Armor Cannon is just a really strong single target attack for fire. I'm not really sure what the 60 HP is for, and I'm not sure why they took stuff out of special attack and made it modest. But in general, that's just what the set is. This is one of the reasons I prefaced the team is not mine earlier, because I don't know what this creep is actually for. Final thing on the team though, we have Indeedee Female with the Terrestrial Fairy with the Culver Berry for pre-Terra, because we're most likely not Terraing this mon, though it has some situations where Terra Fairy is useful. With Follow Me, it's great for redirection, so we could just get up Armor Cannons or Expanding Forces easier, with Helping Hand being a strong way to boost those damage outputs as well. Gleam is great for spread, especially if we need to go for dual spread, which is valuable in some situations to get around sash options. Meanwhile, Trick Room is great for the speed control to try and open up stuff like Dondozo Geary late game, or even just Armor Rouge. With that said, that's going to be the team comp. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the battles. Peace out, guys. Hey guys, it's Liv here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some battle spot doubles to try and see if we can get to Master Ball today. We're borrowing a Dondozo Coalossal team, which will be, of course, with the rental code down below. It's going to be my first time actually using Dondozo on the ladder, which is kind of shocking. Well, besides when I was trying to grind up my Scarlet copy, but neither here nor there. I haven't gotten there yet with this team, so I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to start next season on Scarlet again. But we will be using this team for our at least trying to get the Master Ball to end off the year. It's the last day of the year, and the last day of the ladder, I believe. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy, and if you do, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. Cole Pull has honestly been my lead in most games, and then I think I'm going to bring... It's definitely between Dozagiri or Psy Spam. I think that both have merit. Ultimately, I think I'm going to bring Psy Spam, actually, because I do like the idea of, one, being able to block terrain from stuff like Dragonite, and also potentially Shadow Sneak on the Spiritomb. But also, more importantly, point number 2, it's really useful for trying to make sure that we have the Flash Fire immunity to Torkoal. So, with these two as a tandem, I feel like we'll be really strong. Typically, I've been leading off with one of Cold Pull or with Psy Spam. I feel like that both honestly provide with really strong options for leads, but let's get started. So they're going to lead off with Spiritomb and Sunflora. Interesting. They also have Dragonite, Torkoal, and then what were the last two ones? I forgot to note those down. They're going to also have Glimmora. I wonder if they brought Glimmora just solely for Dondozo, and Low Kicks. Okay. So we're definitely going to go for the Surf here, because Surf should activate our weakness policy. We're going to go for Terra Rock and go for the Rock Slide. This should be a really strong option to destroy both Pokemon, and if they do bring in their Sun route here, that should be really good for us as well. So I will definitely take that. Rock Slide though, really broken move, and with Terastal, we should be doing pretty good in this route in my opinion. So I can't really see what they'll actually manage to do around this unless they maybe go for like Terra Grass. They're actually going to go for a Protect here, which I'm perfectly okay with. Realistically, I still think that Spiritomb will take a ton, albeit I don't know if it'll die necessarily. They are probably trying to use this for a Trick Room potentially, and then they're going to go for Memento if I had to guess, which perfectly fine by me. I don't really mind this at all. I can actually just go for Protect on the Coalossal just to try and make sure that they're not dropping this, and then I can go for Dragon Darts on Pult to try and take out the Spiritomb. If they go for Trick Room on Spiritomb as well, that's potentially opening up another Pokemon in the back, especially Armourouge, which would be really strong against their team. We're actually just going to KO Spiritomb outright anyway. Now, I'm not sure if the crit mattered. If they're Fizz Def, it probably did, but even still, I'm not 100% certain. I know Spiritomb's not the bulkiest mon, but it's possibly bulky. As far as their next mon though, I feel like they have to bring in, Torkoal just to try and boost Sunflora's damage, which I'm also fine with, because Torkoal would basically need to be Terra for a non-stab to be threatening here. Otherwise, I just go for Rock Slide. They don't really have a good Rock Switch in anyway. They're going to bring in Dragonite here, which I'm also fine with. We'll go for Dragon Darts on the Dragonite, just solely to try and make sure that we're breaking multi-scale. Also, this helps a lot in case they're saving their Terra for something like Torkoal in the back, or for Sunflora even. I've played Sunflora teams before, actually. I've even used one in the ladder. I was, spoilers, I was going to use that mon initially before I thought of using Cole for today's vid. But ultimately, I just couldn't get the team to work, sadly. But I know there are some Flora teams going around. They typically go with Terra Fire, obviously with Terra Blast, or they'll go with like Terra Fairy to try and catch just dragons. But one of the two are typically what I've seen. We're going to go for the Rock Slide here, though. This should flinch, if nothing else, on hopefully at least a Sunflora. We're sadly not going to take out Sunflora here, but I do believe that Dragonites will take out both of these, which should be great, especially because they did not Terastalize on the Dragonite, which really is the only reason I got that opening. I think otherwise Dragonite would have taken the hit and probably claimed a kill with Dragon Claw and Pult, which would have been fine. Actually, they couldn't have claimed the KO because we still have our Sash intact. So this is what I'm talking about. This lead, honestly, is so terrifying for a lot of teams, and it's such a low drawback option, and it's why I fucking love Cold Pult. We're going to go for the Dragon Darts here, and I'm just going to go for that purely just for more damage. Meanwhile, we'll go for Rock Slide. I could also go for Explosion, to be fair, just be funny, but realistically, may as well go for Rock Slide. Torkoal's actually kind of bulky, so why not? We do take out Torkoal here. Beautiful. Okay, so nice Cole lead, and really just showing why this team is such a monster. I really do believe this will carry us into Master Ball today. And if the games are quick enough, we might even get a single match in for Master Ball, but we'll have to see. With that said, though, let's move on to game number 2. So moving on to game number 2, we have yet another Sun team, but this one looks a lot more threatening. We're taking on Scovillain, Torkoal, Garchomp, Farigiraf, Hariyama, and Armourouge. Okay, so it's interesting. I think I actually remember seeing this team the other day. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw this team fairly recently, actually. If I remember correctly, this is the most recent ad. Nope, it's not. It's a little bit different. I was going to say, I recognize Torkoal, Scovillain, and Hariyama, and I was thinking, oh, okay, this is the most recent ad for rental codes to the VGC Pace thing. But nope, it is not actually. Regardless, though, that's fine. Probably Terra Fairy or Terra Fire on Scovillain. I don't think it'll be, well, it might be Grass, actually, considering Torkoal. As far as my lead goes, I do believe that the coal pult lead should be pretty decent here. Again, I'm probably just gonna bring the same 4. I feel like the same 4 are really strong here. Realistically, Psy Spam should be pretty well, I could actually lead off with Psy Spam. I think a Psy Spam is actually pretty decent. I'm gonna bench coal solely because I think that having Dondozo for stuff like Garchomp will be pretty decent late game. I could potentially just go with Tatsugiri and then go with Pult. And I feel like that also has a lot of merit and maybe not bring Dondozo, but I do like the idea of going with Dondozo here. So we're actually going to bench Cold Pult here. Regardless though, good luck, have fun to my opponent, and let's try and win game 2. This one will be a little bit interesting. I think that they have a lot of options with their team, but we just need to be better. Thankfully though, they don't really have a good Psychic switch in here outside of Tyranitar Hariyama, which is probably their Terra type. The only other one being Ferrig, of course, but Ferrig is going to take way too much from Armor Cannon. They're going to actually lead off with Hariyama and Farigiraf. Okay, so this is fine, actually. I don't mind this. Farigiraf will sadly block the priority. Now, I'm not sure if that works for Follow Me. I'm pretty sure it does. But I know at the very least that they'll be able to... Well, they will be unable to go for Fake Out here, which is really beneficial for us. What I think I'll end up doing is I'm actually not going to Terra here because I think it's beneficial for taking on a close combat, potentially. And we're going to go for the Armor Cannon, and I'm going to proceed to go for the Dazzling Gleam. The Dazzling Gleam, well, no, I'm going to go for the, I'm going to go for Dazzling Gleam here. This should be really strong. If they go for Wide Guard, that's fine. They can't go for Fake Out. I don't know why they tried to do it. Maybe they're too used to this league comp, and they realized that they're playing Psy Spam right now. But ultimately, this should take out Hariyama, which is really the big threat here, in my opinion. The fact they didn't go for Wide Guard turn 1 is really huge, but I kind of wish I just clicked Expanding Force to keep my defense. Not a huge deal. We'll still take out Hariyama, which is really the big thing I wanted to clear. If Ferrig is around, so be it. I don't mind. I kind of expected that around, and unless I targeted into it, there would be no way. They're actually going to go for Imprison here, which is fine. Thankfully, this Armor is actually really fast. We are modest max speed on this team, so I'll definitely take that. Or, if we're not modest max speed, I forget what the investment is, but I know that we're pretty fast. Oh, shit. I forgot I have the Showdown comp open. But we are, 252. Okay. So this is fine. We see the Garchomp enter the field now, and I'm just gonna go for Expanding Force here, and I'm gonna go for it in the Garchomp spot, and I'm gonna go for the Helping Hand. Actually, I think Helping Hand should be decent. If they're Imprison Helping Hand, so be it. But it's good information to figure that out. They're probably Imprison Trick Room with like Imprison, Trick Room, Hyper Voice, and Filler, if I had to guess. But maybe they do have Helping Hand as well. This should, regardless though, even with the defense drop, help a ton with taking on Rock Slide from Garchomp, which will be extremely valuable here. So we know that Ferrig has Imprison. They're going to go for the Terrastal as well. It's probably on Garchomp, though it could be on... It's actually on Farigiraf. Interesting. If they're not Psychic... Oh, they're not Psychic. Okay, so that's going to be very bad for them. This is definitely really good for us, though, because this means that they're no longer a Psychic Resist, so they're going to be taking a ton of damage from this hit. So I will definitely take that. They're going to go for Protect on Garchomp here. I'm okay with this, actually. This is really good for us. Meanwhile, this Expanding Force should still do a ton of damage, if not outright OHKO the Farigiraf. It might honestly OHKO. I would be shocked if it didn't. Yeah, Ferrig is gone. Beautiful. So we get our Trick Room back if we so choose to do so, which I might honestly, depending on that 4th one, that could be a really strong option for us here. But it's really going to depend. I think that... they're probably Torkoal in the back, I feel like. They're going to be Scovillain, actually. That's interesting. That's very interesting. But yeah, you know what? What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to click Expanding Force here, and I'm going to click Follow Me. This should... Well, actually, no, Scovillain doesn't really do anything to me. They can't even go for Terra. Yeah, I'm just going to go for Helping Hand again. This should be really decent. Chomp is probably going to go for Rock Slide and try and flinch us. Even still, Scovillain, I think at best speed ties us unless it's Timid, which, I mean, even still, neither Mon really does a lot. They're going to go for Spicy Extract. Okay. So they're going to raise Garchomp's attack. This is fine. Thankfully, though, we are able to, again... the Clear Amulet, that's actually a nice touch. Obviously, it's a really good way to get around that. Thankfully, though, we just kill Garchomp anyway here. I'm pretty sure that Scovillain will live on... not Scovillain. I'm pretty sure that Armors will live on 2 from this hit. Yep, we live on 2. Beautiful. And then, yeah, my play is always just go for the Energy Ball for the flex, and then go for Follow Me specific... Well, actually, no. We're gonna go for the Protect into Heat Wave here. Not to Heat Wave into Gleam, because it's the way that we preserve diff, and we can get 2 4-0 wins for the day. I don't know how we're getting this lucky with wins, but I will definitely take it. This is a really strong team, too. I'm kind of shocked that they ended up losing that. because I really went into this game thinking we were done. But you know what? 2-0, I'll take it. This team, as I said, I have a lot of practice with it. I've done so many runs with it. And really, if you don't lead Dozogiri, you're honestly fine here. Typically, though, those 2 cores are what I lead with. For anyone who's curious about how to replicate this success on your own, highly recommend either one. But with that said, let's get right into our final game of the day. And we are here with our most likely final game of the day. We're taking on Annihilate, Mousehold. We're taking on King Gambit, Skeledirge, Meowscarada, and Frostlass. Okay, this is definitely fairly interesting. I'm pretty confused as to what I want to lead here. I think that it's in my best interest to lead off with these 2 because I can actually go for Dragon Darts on Annihilate if it does lead. Meanwhile, I could also go for the Protect and Gold to get around the potential final Gambit this turn. And then I think that in the back, I want to bring Dozogiri. I think Dozogiri is really strong. The only concern with that is Skeledirge. I don't know. I feel like this is definitely a no Dozo game. I feel like no Dozo has a lot of merit here, and I could go with, I think I'm going to go with Size Spam, yeah. They show up with Endgame King Gambit, and also their team is fairly weak to Arm Rouge. At the very least, they have no mutual check to it, which is really good. Even if they bring King Gambit as Terra Dark, that should be fine for me, to be honest, because I could just go for Armor Cannon on it, and that would still do a lot of damage. Also, Cole should be able to do a ton of damage to this team. Barring King Gambit, we're honestly in a pretty good spot here. So they're going to lead off with King Gambit and Skeledirge. This is an interesting lead for sure. I'm definitely gonna go for the Flare Blitz into. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Flare Blitz into King Gambit here. Actually, am I? Yeah, I'm gonna go for Terra Rock and I'm gonna go for Flare Blitz into King Gambit here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go for no. I'm actually gonna go for one better. We'll go for Protect here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp into King Gambit. This should weaken potential Sucker Punches later on, and on top of this, it should help get around the potential for Sucker Punches turn, which might otherwise be not great. Not only this, but it helps preserve a turn where I can avoid getting burned by Skeledirge, which will be nice, since I could potentially scout the Terra type and either just Flare Blitz into the Coal and then go for Dragon Darts and not go for my Surf yet, or I could potentially end up just going for the Rock Slide. Since Skeledirge will obviously have the Unaware, I don't want to burn my Terra just yet because that could actually get a really good Willow on me, and that could ruin Coal this game, which isn't really fun. They do not decide to go for Terastal here. This leads me to believe they're probably going to go for like a Torch Song and a Kowtow here, which I'm fine with that. They're actually going to go for a Hyper Voice, which I'm not sure why Hyper Voice, but it is a move that this thing is running, so I will take that and we will note it down. They're going to also go for Brick Break here. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. Okay, so you know what? I'll take this. This is a really huge turn for us, actually. We're going to proceed to go for the Flare Blitz into the King Gambit spot, and I'm going to go for a Dragon Darts here. And then on the following turn, we'll go for the combination of the... We'll go for the combo of Surf and Rock Slide in the following turn. Right now, I just want to try and KO King Gambit, because this is the only actual Rock resist they have, and I feel like the set of plays is always in my best interest here. We're going to go for the Dragon Darts, though. This should be a strong way to at least get a little bit of chip on these Pokemon mutually. Maybe Surf would have been better in hindsight, but I don't really want to hit Coalossal here, so I think this is my best play. Or regardless, though, we're going to see the Skeledirge get the +1, which I'm okay with. They're going to go for Throat Spray, which is good information. Okay. So, this doesn't KO, huh? Hyper Voice and Torch Song. They're going to go for Kowtow here. This is fine as well. They thankfully do not KO, which is good for us. And King Gambit should be gone from this hit. So they basically need to have the King Gambit go for a... not the King Gambit. The Meowscarada go for a Sucker Punch, or the Frostlass go for an Ice Shot here, which is good information for us. I'm going to assume that Skeledirge will Terra here. I feel like it's a good Terra option. They're going to go for Meowscarada. Okay, this is fine. We'll proceed to go for the Terra Rock, and I'm going to go for the Rock Slide here, and I'm going to go for the Surf on Dragapult. Again, no real reason to play around as if they're going to know that I have Surf, or that I guess, there's no reason to assume that they have Sucker Punch until they've revealed it. Typically, these things run like U-Turn, Knock Off, Flower Trick, and then Protect. Sucker Punch is really like not actually run on these Pokemon, so I'm not even going to pretend that I think it will be, since they typically need the Dark for potential Size Spams. They're actually going to go for Scarf, which is interesting. That's definitely fairly interesting, actually. So my pull is plus speed. So that is objectively a Scarf Meowscarada, which is really good information here. So let me mark down that this is Choice Scarfed. And the Terra Rock should still be strong. Obviously, they're gonna go for a Torch Song, which isn't very, Hyper Voice, which is not very effective here. Meanwhile, I can get the Rock Slide off, which should do a ton of damage, even without weakness policy to both Pokemon. Yeah, that's decent. We'll go into Indeedee here. With Indeedee, I'm gonna proceed to go for a Trick Room. Trick Room with Indeedee should be strong here, and I'm actually gonna go for the Rock Slide. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna go for Rock Slide here, because I want to make sure that I take out Skeletor's, because otherwise this is an actual threat in Trick Room. Yeah, am I gonna go for Rock Slide? I don't know, I feel like I actually need to go for the Protect. I need to go for Protect here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go for Trick Room. Because basically what I need to go for, they're gonna go for Protect and Skeletor's. Okay. So that's fine, we still take out Meowscarada potentially, albeit going for Protect on Skeletor's is a little annoying, though I don't think that this will KO, especially considering it is Scarfed. They're going for Coal Slot anyway, which is good for me. I'm gonna go for the Follow Me this turn with my oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. I'm gonna go for Follow Me with my Indeedee here. This should help potentially with taking this is mostly truthfully to just try and avoid taking on the Skeletor's going for a Torch Song, which would be really bad, or at the very least a Shadow Ball even, which could be really bad, or just anything that's a single target move. If it's going for Hyper Voice, I don't really care because it's not going to do enough damage. They're going to withdraw Meowscarada, which is really huge actually. This is really good for us because whatever comes in here is going to be taking a ton. They're going to go for Annihilate, which honestly, that's really good for us. We're going to see the Skeletor's obviously go first here, which should be... Oh, actually, no, we're going to go for Rock Slide, and that's just going to take out the Skeletor's, which I'm fine with that. Okay, so they're going to have 2 Pokemon left, which is really decent for me, because I can actually just Flare Blitz into the... Well, I could also go for Dazzling Gleam plus Rock Slide here, which will be decent. They're going to be Leftovers Annihilate. This leads me to believe Terrifier. This definitely leads me to believe Terrifier. So I want to play around this accordingly. Okay. So we're going to go for the Rock Slide here, and I'm going to go for the Gleam. I think that both are in my best interest here, because either they're Terrifier and they're going to take the super effective Rock Slide, or they're going to stay their type and they're going to be taking the super effective Gleam. If there's something like Ghost or Water, I'm fine with that too. At least it's 2 neutral hits, which I'm okay with, especially when I could bring in the Armorage, which should underpace us later on anyway, and I can go for an Energy Ball. So Meowscarada should definitely die from these hits. I can't see a world where this actually takes them. An Annihilate should take a good amount if nothing else. It sadly doesn't look like it's taking much. Fuck, okay. Well, they'll probably just go for Rage Fist, which I'm okay with, because I can actually just go for... They're going to go for Bulk Up here. Okay. So I'm going to proceed to go for a Flare Blitz here. Yeah, I'm going to go for Flare Blitz here. This is interesting. It's definitely interesting. I'm gonna go for Flare Blitz. Yeah, I need to go for Flare Blitz. And I need to go for Helping Hand. Actually, no, I need to go for Follow Me. Because I need to really... All I need to do here is redirect the Rage Fist. That's all I need to do. I need to redirect Rage Fist. And thankfully, Indeedee actually has the immunity to that, so I'm actually okay with this. But they're probably just gonna try and stall at Trick Room, which I'm okay with. They're just down to Annihilate at this point, which is good for me. And I can definitely manage this. This should be pretty workable. All I need to do, they're going to definitely try and stall through Trick Room here, which is fine. They have Bulk Up and Protect. So I'm definitely just going to go for the Flare Blitz. Yeah, I think Flare Blitz is my best. Actually, no. I'm going to go for Rock Slide, because Rock Slide should do more damage anyway now that it's no longer spread. And again, we're just going to go for Gleam, because again, it should do no more damage now that it's no longer spread. We're going to see the Terrestrial pop, so now I can finally actually sufficiently play around this. What Terra type are they? We're going to see a Terra Fire. Beautiful. Okay, so Terra Fire is pretty easy to get around, actually, I feel like. Because Terra Fire, I go for Expanding Force plus Rock Slides, and I just try and Helping Hand boost my Coalossal here. And that is my best play. They might go for Bulk Ups to get around this, which I'm fine with. They're taking a ton of damage from this, though, which I'm okay with. And even with this, they've also actually lost... Oh, they actually got flinched here, which is really bad for them, actually. That's super bad for them. So what I'm actually going to do... So Twisted Dimensions return to normal. This is fine, actually. They're going to also... Okay, perfect. So what I think I'm going to go for here, I'm going to go for the Rock Slide, and I'm going to go for the... I'm going to go for the Dazzling... No, I'm going to go for the Trick Room. Because either I want to get the speed advantage back, or I'm fine with letting cold go down if it means I get the speed advantage back, truthfully. Because I can go for Helping Hand on the following turn, and that should be enough. They didn't even gain enough HP back to where I think this actually matters for them. They can definitely try and protect stall all they want, but truthfully, they actually need to bank off a miss, which they don't even take the hit anyway. Beautiful. So this is enough to get us into Master Ball, so we did it. We fucking did it. We got into Master Ball. At least I'm fairly certain. If for some reason we missed Master Ball, we're only at 20 minutes right now. I will do a single more game just to get there, because obviously, let's get to Master Ball, baby. But Cole is proving to be a demon. This mon is so fucking good. I love Coalossal so much. One of my favorite VGC mons, so I'm really glad it's working this gen still. But let's see, do we reach Master Ball? Let's not secure another game, just solely for the fact that we can check our rating. So, let's see. Do we want to do another game? Quit battling. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go to ranked battles, and we're going to check our rating for the doubles ladder. We did not hit Master Ball. Are you kidding? Okay. You know what? We will get one more game. Let's get one more game. We're going to see if we can hit it. We're 3-0 for the day, which is honestly amazing. Currently, our record sits at 31-24 for the season, which is pretty decent for someone who hasn't really done a lot of doubles. I'll definitely take that. We're going to get into our final match, though. Let me pause real quick while we load that up. Okay, so moving on to our final game of the day, we have Grimmsnarl, Ceruledge, Volcarona, Gallade, Kingambit, and Dragapult. Okay, so looking at this matchup, this is definitely a team that feels like it has really strong ways. For one, they definitely have really strong ways around my Dondozo, because Gallade is a really strong way, and also potentially Volcarona if it's Terra Grass. Though I will say Terra Grass Volcarona would pale in comparison to Terra Dragon Dondozo, so I'm fine with that. Looking at their team as well, let's see. So our Dondozo, I don't believe it would actually outpace them, which means that I would need Trick 'em Up. Yeah, I would not outpace them. We would need Trick 'em Up, which Trick 'em Dondozo would actually be pretty strong here. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to lead off with Armarouge and Indeedee. I don't really like the Cole matchup here because the Volcarona objectively will Terra if we bring it. Actually, so I'm looking at this. They're probably going to lead off with, if I had to guess, I feel like they lead off with Kingambit for sure, and then probably one of the Grimmsnarl or Ceruledge here. I feel like those are both decent options. It helps get a nice middle ground for my team. Yeah, we'll go with this. I think this is a decent option if nothing else. And then I'm going to bring Dozo Geary in the back. So we'll go with this. A little bit nervous, but you know what? Let's see if we can get Master Ball. I feel confident. I feel really confident. But good luck and fun to my opponent. It's definitely going to be something where we'll need to really just immediately figure out our game plan off a lead, because I don't really have one going into the match. But let's see what they're going to do here. They're going to proceed to lead off with Volcarona and Grimm. Okay, Volcar and Grimm is a fine lead for us. They're probably going to go for, well, they can't really go for Fake Out here, so that means they're going to go for Screens, which I will definitely take that. Seeing that they are on the field right now like this, Volcarona is interesting because it does actually mean that I can't really go for the, Terra Grass here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go for Protect actually on this turn, and I'm going to go for the Trick Room here. Trick Room should be really decent here, and we're going to see most likely Light Screen. Yep, Light Screen's going to go off on Grimm. This is fine. Meanwhile, Volk, if I had to guess, we'll go for, this is actually going to go for Struggle Bug. Good to note. Let's see, this is Struggle Bug. Okay, so I'm fine with this. This is still obviously a little bit weaker for Indeedee, but I'm okay with that. Meanwhile, I'm going to proceed to go for, I think I'm going to go for the Expanding Force here, solely for the fact that it does not drop my defenses. Yeah, we're going to go for Expanding Force, and I'm going to go for the Helping Hand here. Because Helping Hand should be, if nothing else, a really strong way to boost my Armarouge, and I really just want to make sure that I'm nailing Volk. They are going to switch here, so if they're not going Kingambit here, that's really amazing for us. They're actually going to go into Gallade. Oh, that's so good for us. Especially because of the fact that we didn't tear into Grass, which, again, really, really good for us here. They're going to go for Struggle Bug. They're slow as fuck on Volcarona. Holy shit. That's really slow Volcarona. This is like 0 speed Volk, which I'll definitely take that. It's good information, nothing else. This shows that they're extremely bulky. I'm going to proceed to go for just another Expanding Force plus Follow Me this time, actually. because I want to make sure that I'm redirecting the Gallade hit. I want to actually have Indeedee be the one that's taken out here, which I think well, actually, oh no, never mind. Fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I should have went for Gleam. Actually, it's fine because losing both of these here might be a good thing, because we've seen for a fact that they have Gallade, they have Volcarona, and they have the, oh, thankfully we take that. Okay, that works out really well for us, actually. Okay. So, if we kind of just need to bang off a crit now, which a little unfortunate, but it is what it is, because we're gonna do significantly less damage to their team in general. Okay, this is fine. Okay. So Volk's gonna pop Citrus here, not looking great at all. But I can bring in Dondozo at this point, and Dondozo can just go for Protect. Meanwhile, with the Armourouge, I'm just gonna go for the Armor Cannon here. Actually, no, I'm just gonna go for Armor Cannon, and I'm just going to take out the Volcarona. Actually, no, I'm just gonna take out Gallade, because Gallade I think is the bigger threat here, and even if they switch that spot, they don't really have a fire resist, so I will take that, barring Saralash, I guess. We're gonna go for Protect. I'm gonna wait a turn to Terra, just because I don't want to reveal that this is my Terra option right now. They're gonna probably go for Struggle Bug on Volk, which I'm okay with. They're going to, let's see, so Dondozo should have been the slowest mon on the field anyway, which I'm fine with. They're gonna go for Leaf Blade, which, perfect. If they're gonna go for Leaf Blade, that's fine. I am okay with this. They're going to also, ooh, okay, so perfect. So we're gonna nail Gallade, which is great. Gallade being gone is actually such a good thing for us in terms of our team comp here. They're going to probably bring in, oh my god, how did this take it? Okay. Really fucking unfortunate, I will say. So, what are we gonna do? I think that what I'm gonna do here, does Zero Speed Gallade underpace? Oh, you know what? Actually, wait. So Dondozo should definitely underpace Gallade right now. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to manage to go for Volcarona, and I'm going to go for a substitute here. And I'm going to go for Terra Dragon now. This should hopefully get around whatever shenaniganry my opponent wants to pull off here. By going for Terra Dragon as well, if they're Leaf Blading into the slot and that's their way around this, that's okay. Because with Terra Dragon, we should be able to resist that. And we're fairly bulky to Dondozo too, which should be really good for us. Now, we also know they're not choiced on Gallade because they've obviously changed up their moves here, which is good information. That's great for damage. Volk is probably going to go for a Willow again. I feel like that they're valuing the burn here. They're going to take out Armourouge, which I'm okay with that. So Armourouge is gone, so be it. Meanwhile, the Volcarona's Will-O-Wisp, again, gets completely walled here, so I will also take this. With the Dondozo being in, of course, at this point, we can actually just bring in Tatsugiri, and I can go for, so let's see, so Struggle Bug should be a sound move, so that should get around, well, I shouldn't break my sub, which is good for us, because I can actually just take out the Gallade here, which would be decent, because it's a really strong way for them to break my substitute. So, we'll just target Gallade. Yeah, I think targeting Gallade is my best play. And thankfully as well, with Psychic Terrain gone, they don't boost their stuff anymore. So Gallade is no longer boosted here. We'll go for the Order Up here, because Order Up into Gallade should be really strong. We'll just take this mon out. So if they go for Protect, that's fine. It's probably Assault Vest, truthfully. I know that Gallade typically runs Assault Vest or Band. I would be shocked if it's Protect, especially with Leaf Blade, because I feel like it would value having the Dark and also the fighting options here. So we'll definitely take this. But again, I feel like, though, that they're probably just going to go for Leaf Blade. Or actually, no, they're not going to go for Leaf Blade. They're going to go for Rage Powder. Okay. So I'm fine with this. Rage Powder Volk just being cleared is good for us. Gallade is going to live on a little bit of health. Let's see. So they have Psycho, Cut, and Leaf Blade. Because I deleted Gallade from my notes, just considering the fact that it wasn't on the field anymore. But they've lost their Trick Room option, which is good for us. We'll have to definitely, pretty much, target Gallade, which should actually be fine. They're going to go for Trick Room here, which means that they'll get the speed advantage back with Gallade, but I'm okay with this, because I just need to target Gallade here. I will say, if Kingambit can manage to break my sub, that's really bad for us. That might actually be the game, because Tatsugiri will not be able to win this game on its own. But assuming they don't go into Kingambit here, we should actually be good. We know they have Grim, we know they have Gallade. What's their last mon here? They're going to go into Grim. Okay, so Grim is fine. We'll actually just go for, we'll take out the Gallade here. Because if they go for Reflect on Grim and value the screens instead this turn, which in my opinion is a bit of a choke, but that does mean that they're down to 2 Pokemon, and I think I can muscle to it with this, especially while we take out their Trick Room Setter and their Critmon. So please go for Reflect here, I beg you. They're going to go for Reflect. Beautiful. So Gallade should be taken out, and at worst we'll lose our sub, which I'm okay with that. I can potentially... Oh, they're going to go for Leaf Blade. Why are they going for Leaf Blade? We're Terra Dragon. The sub should just chew this. Beautiful. Okay. That's even better for us. So Gallade is gone. It's just 2 Pokemon left, and it should be Grimmsnarl plus 1 of Kingambit, Dragapult, or Ceruledge. If it is Kingambit, I'm just going to target that. Really, if it's anything no matter what, I'm actually just going to target that slot. I will say Dragapult will be very terrifying here, but I don't know why they would have went for Trick Room with Dragapult. Just solely for the fact that Dragapult's probably Sash. They are going Kingambit here. Good for me. I can just go for Liquidation here. Actually, I'm going to go for Protect, because I want to stall through Return of Trick Room here. Yep. Okay. So we'll go for Protect into Liquidation into Protect again. And that should be enough, because at that point we'll gain the speed advantage back, which is really decent for us. They're going to probably Terrestrial here anyway, which is good for us. If they're going to go for the... So let's see. If they're going to be any type that's not Steel, I'm just going to go for Order Up. They're going to go for Terra Dark. So yeah, I'm just going to Order Up. Order Up should obviously be a good way to boost our attack, which should help breaking through this team even further. So the fact they've now burned through this and revealed that to me is really good information in my opinion. So they're going to probably go for a Kowtow Cleave here, which I'm okay with. Also the fact that, I mean, they're going to go for Parting Shot, which does not work through my sub. So I will certainly take that even more. If this is their way to try and get through me, I'm okay with this. Okay. So what I think I'll do, I'm actually going to go for a Substitute here. I'm going to go for a sub because I want to try and just make sure that I'm gaining the speed advantage back. And this also helps stop Parting Shot Grim, which I didn't even really think about, but it is something I do need to play around. So we're going to go for sub, and if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But again, stall through another turn to Trick Room if that's the case. But realistically, they're going to go for the combination of the Kowtow Cleave plus Spirit Break, and I got my sub back, or they're going to go for the combination of Parting Shot again, not realizing that it doesn't go through sub. So they'll go for Kowtow here. That's fine. So let's see. Reflect, Parting Shot, and then Kingambit has Kowtow Cleave. We know they don't have Dragapult and they don't have Ceruledge here, which is good for us. So they're going to have Spirit Break as their final move. So this will be fine. I can get my substitute up, thankfully, and then I can go for Protect. And then I just start clicking Order Up on Kingambit. And 2 Order Ups should be enough. I feel like that should be plenty to take out this Mon. And even if they start going for Parting Shot at that point, I'm okay with this. So we'll go for 1 more turn to Protect. Their Trick Room is now gone, which is amazing for us. And I think I've officially won the game at this point because I don't think they can actually break this Mon sufficiently. Especially when I gain turn priority back and they have no way to actually drop my... They have no way to drop my speed on Tatsukiri or to paralyze it or anything, which means I can just go for Muddy Water Spam, which should be really decent against their team. So we're going to see Kowtow Cleave go off. That's fine. They're probably going to also go for the Spirit Break here, which again is also pretty fine by me. They're most likely Light Screen. I'm pretty sure that they've been through 8 turns, which is again really decent for the information game here. I'm just going to go for Order Up though into the Kingambit spot, and that should be really valuable here. Attacking into the not Dragon Resist and getting my attack boosted even further because again they have no way to really lower my attack outside of Parting Shot will be valuable. At worst, I should always keep the +3 as long as I keep attacking to this spot, and we'll at least keep our attack as threatening as possible, for lack of a better term here. So they'll most likely end up just going for the... they're going to go for Spirit Break. Spirit Break will probably break our sub. I'm fine with this. And then, ooh, actually they might do enough. No, they didn't break my sub. Thank God. Okay. So we'll go for Protect here. Solely because of the fact that I want to scout if they're going to go for Parting Shot and value the drop in the attack more, which would be a choke, but it's still something I can bank off of. Actually, so basically they're, let me see what they're looking into for this fit turn, because this is an interesting turn here for them. I know that I'm playing a bit of stall right now, but basically what I'm trying to do at this point, I'm trying to scout, are they going to go for Parting Shot here and drop my attack, but then not be able to break a sub? Or are they going to go for the dual attack here, thinking I might go for Substitute, but then lose Kingambit? So it's very interesting for them. They're going to not go for the priority hit. I'm going to go for the Order Up. I'm going to go for Order Up into the Kingambit spot. I think it's my best play now. They might even be like choice Kingambit, which would be interesting for sure. That might screw them over actually if they are, but it's my best play I think to just try and hope that they are. So we're gonna go for order up here. If they get around me, good play by them. But let's see, just hope for no parting shot here. If they go for parting shot, good play. Thankfully they did not. That is so nice for us. Okay, beautiful. So King Gambit is gone, and oh wait, I cleared Grim. I cleared Grim on accident. Okay, so Grimmsnarl is the only mon left, and again, its best way to damage me is Spirit Break. And meanwhile, I have a +4 attack set, and even with their Reflex, we should do enough with Liquidation to just massacre this Pokemon. Worst case scenario, like two Liquidation should objectively be enough to clear this Pokemon. I don't even need to go for Protect or anything, because even still we have Tatsugiri in the back, which can go for Muddy Waters. So we're just going to go for Liquidation here, and that should be game. Liquidation will go off Grimmsnarl, that just dies anyway. Even if it was a crit, which it wasn't, even if it was a crit though, it wouldn't have mattered, because I just beat them long term. But that's going to be game. Good game to my opponent. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, leave a like below and subscribe. Shout out to the channel members, of course, being Josh, the Ultra Player, Mia, Zeke0, Nox Nocturnal, and Matt O'Shea. Your guys' support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to become channel member today, link to that as well as the Discord and Twitter for updates on future content is going to be linked down below. We made it to Master Ball, which is such short-lived because tomorrow the ladder should reset if I remember correctly. But I'll show it at the end as I'm doing the outro just to show it, because it'd be kind of sad if we don't show it on screen once, because it's literally going to be gone. Oh, we also have Koami. Shout out to new member Koami. I'm really glad I checked that last second while I was stalling for this. But shout out to new member Koami. Thank you for joining. You joined literally yesterday, so I really appreciate it. And with that said, yeah, that's going to be it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next season. Until then, peace out, guys.